Welcome back to another episode of Full Beans. On today's show, we have for you Hybrid Era debuted, NASCAR infiltrates Indy, and the Indy 500. What?
Race 6, Connor Daly, still a no-show. Home race, he was busy this week. We'll give him that.
Yeah, we'll give
At
him
his
that.
home race, he's back in Indy. Let's try to get him here at some point soon. Race 6, we're going to keep going. Race 7, race 8, race 9, race 10, whatever it takes. Connor Daly, we're waiting for you.
My name is Ozzy. This is David. And make sure you like, subscribe, and
Turn on that
comment
bell
on this
notification,
video.
please. Excuse me, I was talking.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, turn on that bell notification. Let's get
Share.
to today's episode.
Yeah,
Today's episode, you see, we're kind of in a
different
different
environment.
location.
Yeah,
Nice
we're-
little park. You may ask why. Well, today, two important things of today. First off, it's Memorial Day. I'd like to thank all the troops that have served, making this country safe and great.
Yeah.
Thank you to the troops. Thank you
Thank
to
you.
the families and everyone. That's the first most important thing about today. The second important thing about today, and the reason we're out here on a Monday, no work. It's Memorial Day. I already said that. Why am I looping around? The second thing is the Indy 500 yesterday.
The Grand Indy 500.
The Indy 500.
But before that, the news.
The news.
So the news that we have for you today is debut of Hybrid Era in IndyCar. It looks like now IndyCar is taking out a books out of Formula
A
One.
page out of the book of Formula One.
There you go. that's why you're here, to correct me, okay? I'm sorry, I took ELD and
Again,
and
these excuses over here.
Yeah.
Ozzy, always with his excuses.
So they're going to use the hybrid system, supposed to debut in Mid-Ohio Grand Prix.
right after the 4th of July.
Oh, there we go. So you might see us at another park, might see us at the beach, might see us in the pool. Who knows? Just make sure you tune in. And they're going to now hybrid era, which means it's half gas, half electric. It looks like it's going to be a system similar to Formula One, where they have a certain battery percentage, and they can use that throughout the race. I'm sorry, throughout the race, and they'll be able to regenerate energy back into their system and reuse it for the rest of the race.
I wonder how it's going to work with. Are we going to do away with refueling?
Maybe. I mean, maybe refueling less.
Refueling less?
I think refueling will still be there because the cars are still kind of small, right?
Yeah,
The
we'll
tanks.
see. I mean, it'll be interesting. It's kind of interesting that they're going this way. We'll see until everyone just turns into Formula E. And we'll
Yeah.
have Formula E F1, we'll have Formula E Indy, and
Yeah.
then Formula E OG or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see this. Hopefully, this will push Formula E to also, get better. Formula E being a little short. The race has been very short.
Yeah.
They just don't have the battery for it.
It's like an hour long.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
really
Grand
short.
Max.
I mean, I mentioned before, I went to the one in Mexico City, and it was an interesting race. But let's see if we can, push everything forward. And
Yeah.
I think this is a good step in that direction.
Yeah, I think it's a good step in far as pushing the envelope on motorsports and racing. Drivers have commented before, like, yeah, it's exciting to hear, and it might change their driving styles, the handling of the car, the braking. So yeah, we got to see what's in store for us on the new system. That's everything I have for that topic. Next
I think
topic
we move
is
to NASCAR.
NASCAR infiltrating.
Sticking their nose, stinking their little NASCAR nose into IndyCar,
Yep.
the Indy 500.
We got the driver Kyle Larson.
Talk of the town this week.
It was. So this has been a year in the making, actually.
Yes, he was at the Indy 500
Last
last
year.
year, observing, taking notes, scouting.
Yeah, and now he wanted to do the double. That was
double,
the big
the
thing.
Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600.
Exactly.
Which, I mean,
That's pretty cool.
I love that idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
Really cool to see someone like, you know what? That's over 1,000 miles of racing in one day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, spoiler alert, he wasn't able to do so because of the
Rain delay.
4-hour rain delay of
Yeah.
the Indy 500. Hopefully, he'll be back again. I saw somewhere someone commented. I don't know who it was. I think it was a NASCAR. I don't know who it was, but someone was like, I don't know why a lot of the the NASCAR drivers don't attempt the double because of that day of how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of them could attempt a double, and that'd be really cool to see a bunch of
It's.
people trying to do the double.
I know it's more of a to me it seems more of like a gimmick thing to do the double, but I mean I think it's cool because it brings attention to the sport. And it brings attention, and it's like, oh crap, he's gonna be able to do the double. It's gonna be cool. It's just something as you would think as a kid to do, you know. You're like, I'm gonna race in this race, and I'm gonna race in this other race.
Yeah,
Completely
but their
different
job as a whole is something a kid would do, you know.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
the whole job is being a race car driver. It's like it's just a kid's dream, so it's not like it's any different. You're like, you know what, I'm gonna do the double today.
Yeah.
The only double I've ever done in a day is gone to a baseball game and a soccer game in the same day.
I thought you were about to say you eat a double cheeseburger or something.
Well, we do those lots over here. A little nice little double.
Double cheeseburger.
It's a common double that's done around here.
But yeah, he could have done it if he would have if that rain delay, Mother Nature's stepped in the way. But I mean, maybe next year he'll be able to try it.
Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cool to see him try it.
Mm-hmm.
Performed way better than I think you could have ever hoped to perform. Qualified P6.
Yeah,
I think
and that was his IndyCar debut.
IndyCar debut, rookie.
Yeah.
He was a rookie. IndyCar debut, P6. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's more experienced with the ovals, but still, just to jump in the car and be able to
different
perform
animal,
at such a high level.
Yeah,
it was truly very impressive.
Yeah.
Super impressive. I was kind of left speechless by Kyle's performance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I said earlier, undone by the weather, and additionally, just plain lack of experience and in this specific car.
Yeah.
And got caught speeding in the pit lane, entering pit lane, locked up.
Unfortunately,
drive-through penalty, ruined his race near the end. So unfortunate. It was his only
mistake.
pit under green.
Under green, okay.
Which caused him, because obviously in the under yellow we were going slower, so
Yeah.
less likely, and just unfortunate to see that caused him to miss the double. I don't know if they were saying he might still have gone. I don't know if I never checked up on that. Do you know if he went to the 600?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know. I know. Last thing I know, he was on a helicopter over there.
Yeah. So,
but that's the last thing I heard about it. But
it would be nice to see him do the whole thing. You know, actually have the time
Yeah.
to do so. Hopefully he's out there next year, and
we could see it.
we could that would be really cool to see him try it and maybe bring along some other NASCAR drivers. Maybe we throw some IndyCar drivers over there.
Mhm.
I mean, Connor Daly, another thing. He's done it all. He's tried it all.
He definitely should try the double.
Yeah, he should try the double.
He should try the double.
Um,
With that being said, I think it's now good to move on to the grand,
to the prestigious,
spectacular
to
Indy,
the 108th
Indy
Grand Prix.
Indy Grand Prix.
I lied. No, Indy Grand Prix is the road course. Indy500.
Indy 500. We got this
As I
great
said, we got the
flag right here.
back here. Welcome, race fans.
It's set in Indianapolis. What's it called?
Like
That's-
108th. Pretty old.
Yeah.
Later this week, our Monaco episode releases, and while that is prestigious in the world of Indy, this is also very prestigious. In the I mean, I lied. In the world of F1, in motorsports, you have, I think, the big three. I think the Triple Crown is
Yeah.
Indy 500, Le Mans, and Monaco.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
Something
we should
like
probably
that. I know
the Triple
definitely
Crown.
Le Mans and Indy, right? So the Indy 500. The Indy 500 is a huge race, like one of the biggest races.
Fernando Alonso had attempted.
Mhm.
He said he was too scared.
And
Come
now that
on,
we
Fernando, come on. No, come on. Dude, you scared? You were scared? Come on. I think I hold you at a higher standard than that.
Come on, dude. What's it called? I mean, if you look at these cars and they're traveling at that speed, it's pretty crazy, though.
It's too fast.
It's crazy, dude.
I think the qualifying record was set this year.
Yeah, by
with
Scott.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin.
With 234
Something like that.
miles an hour. Quickly before we get to the race, this qualifying is confusing. This race is a little confusing, as we have foreshadowed here before. We know we've talked about how there's more cars than normal. There's one-off racers. One of those being Connor Daly. We had Takuma Sato.
Yeah.
We had
Helio
Castro Neves, 4-time champion. He was going for the 5th. He would have broken. I don't know if he already has the record, but the 5th I know would have been for sure the record. We had Andretti, the grandson,
Marco.
Marco,
Marco.
Marco,
Marco Andretti.
Marco Andretti. We had in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Carpenter was
Oh yeah,
in there.
Ed Carpenter we had in there.
So lots of really OG names in the sport. So this is what makes this race interesting. We had I'm sorry, her name escapes me. We had a woman, female driver, which is always nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, spoiler alert, her race got cut short by a mechanical issue.
Yeah,
not her fault. So hopefully, this is her fourth or fifth time at the Indy 500. So hopefully, we can see her more. We can see more girls. We see Danica Patrick is there. She was a bit, big influence on the sport and everything. Quickly about qualifying. Let's break down qualifying. I have notes here because it is confusing.
It's different from any other qualifying. There's no qualifying times here, right? So
Correct.
I'll let you go on and explain that.
So the quali is done a week before the race, the weekend before the race. It is broken up into 2 days. The first day, the way that it works, like as Ozzy was saying, the way that all of the qualifying works is your average speed with the average speed of 4 hot laps. So you, at full speed, these four laps, the average speed of those 4 laps is your qualifying number. We'll put it that, right? So if you have, if your average speed is 230, and then another person's average speed is 229, well, they're below you, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Saturday positions 13 through 30 are set. Now, there are more cars than 30. So, 31 to infinity, those cars, however many cars there are, this year was 34. So, only one car got cut because the maximum number of cars is 33. We got 3 rows. We got 11 rows of 3 wide. So, 33 cars. Like I said, only 34 entered this year, so only one car got cut.
I believe it was Nolan Siegel.
Yeah, it was the rookies. A little bit unfortunate, but
yeah, a little unfortunate.
So that's Marcus Ericsson was in. So the Sunday has our qualification. I'm sorry, for 33 through 31, and then 12 through 1 pole. The way that those work, same thing. The cars that didn't make it the day before on Saturday, for the slower cars, they battle out for survival to make it into the Indy 500. Like we said, through positions 31 through 33, and then the top are the top. So that's how it works. That takes place on the Sunday, the weekend before. So this is definitely different than any other race in Indy.
Yeah, definitely. Different race, honestly, than like any other open wheel racing that I know. It's qualification.
Yeah, open wheel racing. It's a different
different animal.
Yeah.
So,
but that's quality. We'll move on to race, I guess.
Yeah, pole position got Scott McLaughlin. Yeah,
Scott McLaughlin
gets the pole.
Before,
start off the race. We start with the front row, and who else being in the front row? The team that's been under the gun. A lot of speculation going.
Continuing the cheating?
I don't know, dude. I think they just got their heads down and they're putting in the work. Team Penske locks out the front row with Scott McLaughlin, Will Power, and Josef Newgarden all in the front. So good for that team to really be under the scrutiny of the criticism that they've been under with the cheating or with the mistake and the penalties that they've hold themselves accountable to, and they lock out the front row. That's a great way to start off the Indy 500, right?
I mean, that is the way you would want to start, right?
Yeah, and that's the way you shut everybody up, you know?
Yeah, additionally, with oval racing, you don't want to lead too long because you're wasting more gas. You're just wasting everything, your tires more. So having a team leading, you could just alternate leads, keep alternating leads, which we did see later on by a different team. We did see by the team. So you would want that. That's exactly how you want to start. You want the lockout. You want your team up there. You guys want to work as a team for, 499 miles.
Yeah.
And then
the last mile.
Push that last mile.
Every man for himself. Yeah.
That's what the obviously dream scenario.
Yeah.
That's not how it worked out, but that is the dream scenario. Like we said, Kyle Larson, P6, no honorable mention, so high. I mean, obviously, without needing to be said, highest qualifying rookie.
Yeah.
Actually, he was the second highest aero McLaren.
Let's see. We got because Rossi got like the second, Pato, and then we
I think
have.
Pato was lower than Kyle.
I think you're right.
I think
dude.
in qualifying.
Yeah.
I think he was
He
the
was the
highest.
second
I think he was
lap.
the size out of 4 aero McLarens on
He
the
was
grid.
the second.
He was the second highest, which is pretty impressive because
Yeah.
that team is pretty good, a pretty good team.
Yeah, they had a fast race car. Starting off to the race, a lot of crashes like from the very beginning, right? We had the rain delay, so
the
it
4
washed
hour rain
away.
delay, clean the track, green
Yeah.
track, low temp.
Mm-hmm.
Guys had been, I think, like they were saying, I think Hinchcliffe was making a joke on air that like, did they all have too much coffee to stay hype?
Yeah,
Because it was
crazy.
elbows
dude.
were out, argy bargy.
Now let's
Um,
before we say that, I know we have been kind of harsh on the oval races where we said that they might be
we
a
can't
little
hide
too
from
boring.
the fact that it's on tape, so we can't
Yeah.
hide that we definitely have been naysayers, putter downers of the oval races.
Yeah, but god
And
damn, this
think
race was
this-
good, dude.
It shut us the beep
Yeah.
up, dude, because this was a race,
Dude, this was a race.
This
dude.
was elbows out, like you were saying.
Yeah,
No holds bar, fisticuffs, like
just
this was,
pedal to the metal.
It was flat out,
Yeah,
like
flat out.
anything that you want in a race. This was it. And past Ozzy and past David, shut up. You guys are wrong. We'll take that one on the chin
Yeah,
because this race shut us up fast.
yeah, fast, dude.
So hopefully they're more like this. Hopefully they continue going like this.
Yeah.
I think this kind of racing would bring at least a lot of the NASCAR viewers, maybe bring them to the IndyCar,
IndyCar series.
to maybe get them to watch this one and then move on to road courses and things like that.
Yeah,
It'd be very interesting because this was because these are faster than NASCARs.
these are
So you see, I mean, they're going fast. We start off with like 4 cautions in like the first
first
4
20 laps or something like that.
I don't
dude.
know. Yeah, it was cautions to start left and right. We have a set time to record our episodes,
Mhm.
and on Sundays after the race day, and we were like, we're gonna have to push this back because
Yeah,
this
kept
race
getting
is
pushed
taking
back.
too long. It's taking
Yeah,
so long.
too
But
long.
I was glued to the TV the whole time.
Yeah, it was a good race. What's it called? We saw like Team Penske. They were kind of dominating the first real like I want to say half of the race, dude. Scott McLaughlin like untouchable up in the front, dude.
Scott McLaughlin looked untouchable. Dixon looked like he might pop up, and he kind of just was steadily climbing throughout the race.
He was.
He kind of was. You'd see him keep moving up, slowly but surely. We had the first half, like you were saying, Penske, and then the second half, Aero McLaren just right to the top.
Right to the top, dude.
Rossi and Pato just working as a team, doing everything you want it to be, unselfish. Let's like we were saying, let's get to the end together, and then may the best man win.
Yeah.
Um,
That was like honestly now like when we were talking about when we saw Rossi and Pato work together. I don't think I've ever seen 2 teammates work together so good together. Like
that's
that.
the thing though, is that I think on the ovals you have to do that, but I don't feel like we ever see it done
On
that
the road course.
like that clean. On the road course, yeah, because I think on the road course it doesn't being in first doesn't have the effects on the car and
Yeah.
everything as much as a oval does,
Mhm.
right? The oval, like if you're leading, you could try to lead the first half, and then if let's say there's no pit stops or whatever, your car is done.
Yeah.
So I think this is, they're like, you know what? It's definitely beneficial to both of us
to be
to
rotating.
be rotating, sharing the lead.
Yeah.
So
like-
that
but what
kind of
I'm-
stuff is interesting.
What I'm referring is like before, like on other road courses or tracks, they would see 2 teammates together, and sometimes like one teammate would be, oh, let's stick together, so we'll be able to pull each other more towards the front, right? And you hear about that happening, but like in Formula One, but you never really see it happen. And then I think this one with that Rossi and Pato was a clear one. They were just rotating each one in front of the other, and they were helping each other really.
You know why I think they're working so good as a team?
Why is that?
because the man, the myth, the legend, the great
Zach
McLaren
Brown,
CEO
dude.
Zach Brown was there leading the cause.
Leadership, dude.
He said, "Forget Monaco.
Monaco.
It's Monaco weekend. Why would I be there? I have a racer in second. I have a racer in fourth starting.
Yeah.
Why go to Monaco?
This is a bigger race.
Bigger
Indy
race.
500.
Indy 500.
He knows that IndyCar is the bigger sport than Formula 1.
Just like Full Beans keeps saying, Indy will surpass F1.
F1, so.
I don't know when,
I know.
but it will happen.
It will happen.
So
yeah, it was good to see.
great team effort from McLaren.
Yeah.
We had 2 pit strategies
Yeah,
that had played out, and it looked as if it was flipping and flopping, right?
Mm-hmm.
From one pit, maybe it was under caution. Then the other pit strategy looked like it was advantageous, and then flipping and flopping the whole race.
Yeah, Connor Daly was one of them that he was on a different strategy than most of the grid,
Connor
right?
Daly led the race.
Connor
a little
Daly
bit.
then leads the Indy 500.
Yeah, which he
dude.
has before. He has before.
Yeah, he has.
He has before, which is nice to see him out there. Connor Daly once again. I posted on our Instagram story. I saw him leading it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, good shit from Connor Daly. A lot of things happen. Obviously, we can't talk about everything, but
That's lots. It's long race.
yeah,
Go
definitely
watch it.
definitely-
It's definitely worth a rewatch. It's
Yeah.
definitely, if you haven't watched it, it's worth
definitely
a watch.
watch the next one next year. And now, let's move on to the last part, right? Which
I don't want to talk about this.
this part was that had
There's
my
the-
heart pumping. It had me shedding a tear, emotions going crazy. We have what's it called, Josef Newgarden in the front.
With
Then we have
I want to say
20 laps. Or
well,
something
like
that.
80 laps to go. 80-ish laps to go.
Uh-huh.
60th laps to go. That's where we really see Pato and Rossi really starting to take hold of the race. Them two, as they were switching leads every lap. And this is obviously, like we were saying, it's pushing the team forward. So we're seeing, as we're watching this, we go, wait a sec, Pato has a chance of winning this thing.
Yeah.
So does Rossi, which I'm a fan of too. I watched him on Amazing Race with Connor Daly. That's how I actually found out about Connor Daly. I had known Rossi from F1, so big fan of Rossi, big fan of Daly, big fan of Pato. As you can tell, I'm wearing his hat. So I was fine with either one of those, but there's a special spot in the heart for Pato Ward,
Yeah.
being the only Mexican driver on the grid. You're thinking, wait, he's got a shot.
Yeah.
Then, as I was saying, I think 20 laps to go. They pit both of them on not the same lap. They pit them on different laps, and Rossi starts to kind of fall back because he has to save some gas.
He has to save fuel.
He has to save some fuel.
He couldn't really stay in the lead with the number they were giving him, the target that he had to hit. It was just he was gonna get overtaken. So
Yeah, so that was unfortunate.
It was.
And maybe had he not had to save gas, maybe Aero could have fought a little better as a team,
exactly.
giving either one of them a better chance. So he kind of had to. He just had to, not of any fault of his own. He kind of had to let Pato run his own race against Newgarden. With 20 laps to go, they just start duking it out.
They
Just
dude.
slugging. It's just slugfest, flat out.
And now let's remember, Pato has been here before.
Pato's been here before with Newgarden
It might have been Newgarden
or
too.
Power. I don't remember who it was.
It was an Indy 500
Indy
before.
500.
He's been so close to
But
that
one
milk.
that one sucked because that one finished under caution, I believe.
Yeah, but he's been so close to that milk that he
To
can
the milk.
practically smell it, right? He's practically that close. So, go on, keep telling the story.
I don't even want to talk about it. You're watching it. I don't think Pato put a foot wrong. There was an overtake that he did at some point. And like we're saying, even the competitors, they know they don't want to be leading
Yeah,
5 laps left. They don't want to have the lead 5 laps left and to go, I'm going to hold this lead for this 5 laps. So you see them letting the other one pass, not taking the pass, slowing down, letting off. So it's a complicated part in the race.
yeah,
Because you want to be, you have a goal. I want to be leading at this point in the race, and then you're going to step on it, and that's when you're going to try to hopefully take it
that's when you.
to the checkered flag and the brickyard
Yeah,
and take the victory. Pato looked like as if, at first, it looked as if he was maybe pushing a little too hard, which we've seen him before. maybe not being so mature behind the wheel.
Not using his head, right?
Yeah, and just being pure passion.
Yeah, pure emotion going
And
through him.
he does a little bit of an overtake at a point where I thought was a little wrong, but then I think he corrects it by letting Newgarden pass at a point. Newgarden tries to let him pass at one point. He stays behind Newgarden, letting off the gas,
Letting off.
which
You
is
can hear a
like
big lift off
it's
right
like
there.
death on an oval, like
Yeah.
letting off a second. Everyone's gonna pass you. No, he sticks behind him, keeps drafting him. At the white flag, takes the lead
the
of
lead
the
of
race.
the Indy 500.
You're thinking he can hold on for one more lap, and with 2 turns to go, Newgarden, I don't know. I guess in hindsight, maybe Pato could have stayed high, forced Newgarden low. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was a mistake from Pato because
I don't think so either.
I'm not gonna say that. I don't think he put a foot wrong.
I think he did
It
everything
was just.
right.
I think it was just unlucky.
Unfortunate, dude.
And man, was that my mom and I were watching. We were screaming at TV, like, oh man, it was hard. It was hard to watch it.
It was heartbreaking knowing that, like he said it, so goddamn close.
Yeah.
So close, but no cigar. So it's unfortunately
It was tough.
it was a tough one. I could have been a day.
Congratulations to Newgarden.
Yeah, I mean, good.
Two-time,
good stuff.
back-to-back
Back-to-back.
champion.
Yeah.
First time since I think Elio Castro Neves in like 20 years.
Mhm.
$4 million purse. I think he got
Yeah.
or something.
I mean, yeah. Props out to him. He did a stellar job. He controlled the race.
Cheaters.
He controlled the race good, and then at the end
Another
he made the
disqualification. Pato gets the victory. You heard it here first on Full Beans.
But what's it called? It just hurts us because we're obviously big Pato fans, big Mexican fans, and we always want to see our fellow Mexican people up on top. And knowing that he was so close to that victory, he can practically taste that milk. And
Speaking about milk, should we bring it out now or later?
oh, let's bring it out now, dude.
We got some props, more
We
props
got-
over
We
here.
got to celebrate the Indy 500. As far as you know, this is an old race, and there we go. We have here the milk
The milk of champions.
of champions, dude. So at the end of the race, they celebrate there with a trophy, but instead of champagne, they use milk.
Nice. You think it's like local? You think it's Indy milk? You like Indiana milk?
Like
Like there's like you think the cow is from Indiana?
I think so.
I think they should. I think
I
they
maybe
should have.
think
A,
it's
I think they should have a cow on the like
They should
the
straight from the udder.
on the premises.
Oh, I thought they were gonna milk the cow there.
No, maybe that too. They should have the cow. They should have the cow with them on the steps.
Yeah.
On the podium.
Yeah.
On the podium, have an extra large first place. Have the cow up there.
Yeah.
And back it goes.
And back, yeah, exactly, dude. So yeah, instead of champagne, they use the milk, and then they get a kiss with the red lipstick.
Yeah.
So David, pucker up. But yeah, well, we have here milk to celebrate the Indy 500.
Are we wrapping
that.
up, or do you have anything else to say to the race?
I think that's all I have for the race. It was
Quickly,
a
I just want to say, Pato, I think he's gonna win it at some point.
Mhm.
I mean, I like.
Keep your head up high. You did a great
Dude,
job.
It was a valiant effort. I
Yeah.
don't think he could have done anything wrong. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he did it perfectly. Like, he didn't qualify great, but he knew he had a shot. Arrow McLaren, keep going. They had I think he's got a good car under him. We'll see what he does for the rest of the season. Colton Herta quickly, unfortunate to get knocked out. Three Honda DNFs.
And Andretti, dude, they got a lot of knocked out.
Yeah, Andretti and
Honda because mechanical issues.
looking a little
unreliable.
scary, which is not a Honda trait you
It's
normally
not.
hear about.
Yeah, you're right. So it is weird to see. Maybe, I don't know, there's going to be people more now shifting towards Chevy as the more reliable engine, which is crazy.
That's crazy to hear.
It's crazy. So, yeah. Great race overall. Sucks for the rain delay, but at the end of the day, we still got a good race. Good to see that we got the 500 miles to see.
Yeah, because there was a time limit on this.
Yeah, there was. So it was a great weekend for, I think, for a lot of race fans out there, especially the fans that were there. Everybody stayed. No one went home.
Yeah, no one was leaving.
So,
there was 4 hours there and of extra time, and they stayed.
Yeah, so
Great to see the fans. It's great to see it sold out crowd. You know, excited to get out there one day.
yeah, definitely.
And
But
with that, I don't know. You
that's
got
everything
anything
I
else?
have.
That's all I got for the Indy 500.
Yeah, that's everything.
And,
So are we taking a swig and a cheers out of this with the milk?
I guess we can if you want. Nice
And
little
on that
cold milk.
bombshell?
And on the milk. And on the milk. Cheers, Indy500.
See you guys next time.
That's full beans.